Hi everyone, it's Chrissy from FirstSaveHome.com. I love using fresh and natural elements in my fall home decor. I'm all about preserving flowers from my garden, using foraged items for DIY projects, and finding ways I can just enjoy the beauty of nature. One of my favorite decorating tips is using dried orange slices for fall home decor. So today I'm going to show you how to do that and then give you 5 different ways that you can use these in your decor this fall. I'm also joining a wonderful group of YouTubers today. You can find links to all of their fall DIY projects down in the description box below. I'll be using about 4 oranges and just slicing them as thin as I can. You can also use a mandolin instead of a knife if that helps you slice them thinner. This is about the width you want. Once the oranges are all sliced, you can go ahead and move them to a cooling rack on top of a cookie sheet. For 4 oranges, I found it takes about 2 cookie sheets and you can bake them at the same time. Since fresh oranges are very juicy, you'll want to pat them dry before you put them in the oven. Then you'll bake them at 175 degrees Fahrenheit for about 6 hours. And here's what they should look like at the end of that time. Now we're ready to decorate. So this giant dough bowl is one of my favorite things to decorate with all year long. It's just so great to fill it with seasonal things, but it's really deep. So I'm gonna start by putting some paper in here just to let the pumpkins and everything else that we put in here be a little higher. So I'll start with that, but first I'm going to do a little switcheroo on the table runner just to make it kind of a neutral base to decorate with. I'm just using packing paper to fill in the bottom of this bowl. You can also use newspaper. I'm going to start with my biggest pieces first. So I have these faux pumpkins that I really like. They're kind of more in a pastel color scheme and they look really pretty against the wood of the dough bowl. Now these faux olive stems are ones I keep in a vase as decor all year long, but when you add pumpkins to them, they look really fall. So what I'm going to do is add a few of these stems in here, and I'm actually going to just pull off some of these little branches. Let's see here if I can show you. So I'll just pull off some of these little leaves, and I can use these either at place settings or just to tuck in and cover up any of that paper we have underneath. I added in a few final details like some acorns from Hobby Lobby, velvet pumpkins, and these other smaller faux pumpkins before adding my dried orange slices. Although the dried orange slices are small, I feel like they really add the finishing touch to this whole centerpiece. I am into tiered trays for any holiday, so I thought I would decorate this one to coordinate with the dough bowl. I'm going to add in this cute acorn, just like I did in the centerpiece, and then bring in some texture with this woven pumpkin, and then just continue to add some other faux pumpkins, a few pops of orange, and some other items to fill in and add some different color variety. When we add in the dried orange slices, you'll see what a difference it makes. It just makes the tray look so much fresher, plus it coordinates with that centerpiece we made for the dining table. I just think it adds such a nice texture and color to this display. If you're curious to see how the whole dining room came together, including the place settings, I will link to a blog post down in the description box. In an earlier video, I talked about how to take fresh flowers and preserve them to make your own DIY potpourri. I will link to that video up here, but I thought it would be fun to go back to that potpourri we made and add some dried orange slices. Our potpourri looks a little more vintage now, but I still think it looks really beautiful. You might remember I added fragrance oil to add a scent to this potpourri. For fall, I would probably add cinnamon sticks instead, or even a cinnamon or spice fragrance oil, just like we had the floral fragrance oils before. Then you can add a few bay leaves, which give a nice light green color and texture to the mix. Last but not least, we will add a few dried orange slices, and this really helps transition this potpourri into a fall potpourri. This would be great to display in your kitchen or even in your living room. While we're on the subject of making your home smell good, let's talk about making a fall simmer pot. Now, you've probably seen a lot of the recipes where you just add the ingredients on your stovetop. I thought it would be fun to put a twist on it and make a little mason jar gift where you can give someone a simmer pot. I bought these little tea bags that you can use for DIY tea, and I thought they'd be perfect for this craft. I'm going to add in a few spices like cloves and star anise. If you have other ground spices, this type of pouch would really come in handy so that it doesn't make the mason jar so messy. I made a quick little label for my mason jar so that I could give this as a gift to my mom or a friend and they could enjoy it during the fall season. Of course, I had to test this out in my own home, and I'm happy to report that it smells incredible. For my last DIY, I thought it would be fun to make a dried orange garland, but I'm gonna make a mini one. I'm using the last of our 4 oranges that we dried at the start of the video, and I'm simply stringing the oranges onto jute twine using an embroidery needle. I'm also mixing in a few bay leaves here and there. A hole punch really helps to prevent the leaves from breaking when you're doing this. And then at the end, I'm mixing in a cinnamon stick as well as a few wooden beads. If you liked this video, I always appreciate a thumbs up, and leave me a comment letting me know which of these DIYs was your favorite. Don't forget to visit my friends in the playlist down in the description box, and I'll see you next time.